Hello everyone and welcome to another lesson of how to speak Bosnian. Today we will learn about imperative in Bosnian language. Imperative is a grammatical term that we use when we try to give orders to the listener, or so the speaker is giving an order to the listener. So, for example, if you want to say read to someone, you're giving them an order, like they have to be reading or they have to read. So you're using an imperative mood. Also, we can use imperative for a more inclusive statement, something like "let's read," and that is including all of us. We all need to be reading, but one person is proposing that action, and then everyone else will be participating in that action. And another example that I put here is to give permission. So we can use imperative to give permission to someone to do something. So since we used the read before, so let's use it again. We can say let him or her or them, let them read. So that way saying you're giving permission to someone else about someone else to read. Take a look at formation of imperative. So to form an imperative mood, we need to use the verb in the third person plural, conjugated version of a third person plural of a verb. We will add J or I at the end. If a verb doesn't have a J, then you will add it. For singular, and to add for plural, we need to add additional te. So if we have an infinitive of a verb that is the most common ending of a verb, this is the most common verb in Bosnian language, it's gledati. Gledati, that means in English to watch. And here below I have a conjugated version of this infinitive. So it is gledam, gledam, I watch, gledaš, gledaš, you watch, gleda, gleda, he or she or it watches, gledamo, gledamo, we watch, gledate, gledate, you formal or you guys watch. And the last one is gledaju, gledaju, they are watching. Okay, so to form an imperative from this verb, we will look at this last conjugation for the third person plural, which is gledaju. And then to form it again, we will deduct this u from it. So then we're left with gledai, and that is our singular imperative. So it's simple gledai, watch. For plural, we need to use that singular gledai, and then we will add te, and we have gledaite. Gledaite. You guys watch, or you, for a formal person, you can say watch in this way. I've decided to share some more examples on imperative, on verbs, and how to create imperative from these verbs in singular and plural forms. I decided to use sanjati, sanjati, to dream, voljeti, voljeti, to love, znati, znati, to know. So infinitive singular form of the verb sanjati becomes sanjaj. Remember, third person plural would be sanjaju. We deducted the u and we're left with sanjaj. Sanjaj, which means you dream or just dream. Voljeti, voljeti ends is a different conjugation, and it conjugates itself like this: volim, voliš, voli, volimo, volite, vole. So this conjugation is a bit different from the sanjati and the other ones that we already looked at. And its infinitive or imperative singular becomes voli, voli, love. Znati, znati, again, third person plural for this verb is znaju. Deducted you, we are left with znaj, znaj, which means no. Imperative plural for these same verbs looks like this. It's very simple, right? Once you have singular, you add te, and there's your plural. Sanjaj, sanjajte, that's our plural. Voli, volite, plural for love. And znaj, znajte, no. Now let's take a look at imperative or inclusive imperative in the Bosnian language. To form inclusive imperative is very simple. You're just going to be using the singular form of the imperative, and then you will be adding mo to it. And that word alone, or verb actually alone, will signify to the other person that you're trying to say, you're proposing something and you want everyone to be participating in that something. So this verb that we have here, the first one is putovati, and we already have it in inclusive imperative form. So the third person plural would be putuju. We removed that you, and then we had a singular form, which is putui, and then we added mo to it. So that's how we have putuimo. Let's travel. Putuimo. The second verb we're looking at is sanjajmo. So again, sanjati is the infinitive of this verb. In a singular imperative, it would be sanjaj, and then we added the mo. So therefore, we have sanjajmo. Sanjajmo. Let's dream. Third is a little bit different. That's remember in the second slide I had we either add j or I to it, and this is the one where we add actually I, ending in not j. So we have pisze, pisatius. In fact, this verb conjugates as pishem, pishesh, pisze, piszemo, piszete, and pishu. But in singular imperative form, this verb would look something like this: pishi, pishi. And then as we use that pishi, added mo, and we have let's write. There's something I wanted to share that is more colloquial. So if you travel to Sarajevo or if you travel to Bosnia, or if you know any Bosnians, you will probably hear this form, this colloquial form, which is hajde da. And that's more for inclusive. We would say something hajde da, hajde da se dogovorimo, let's agree. So you're kind of proposing that something, again, inclusive. You're proposing you want everyone to participate in this something. So to use hajde da formation, we would have that hajde da plus conjugated verb in present tense. So if you take a look at down below, we have it in highlighted hajde da krenemo. Hajde da krenemo. Hajde da, and then krenemo is a actually infinitive of that verb is krenuti. And then it would go something like krenem, kreneš, krene, krenemo is a we are going, like in the present tense. So here you don't have to use the imperative form. So you can just use it in the present tense, and you will get the same result. It's still going to be sounding like the inclusive imperative form. In a short, you can also say hajmo. This is absolutely used in Bosnia a lot, across Bosnia. I would say you can just say hajmo or hajdemo actually, but we shorten even that and now are using hajmo to make it as let's go, let's go. Another option when to use actually imperative in Bosnian language is to give order or approval in imperative. We can use neka. Neka is equivalent in English to something like let. neka plus verb in third person singular. For example, we have this verb ichi, which is conjugated as idem, idish, ide, idemo, idete, idu. So here we have neka, let, and then ide is a third person singular, and you're saying like, oh, let him go or let her go. If someone, for example, wants to go somewhere and a parent is not usually happy with that, and someone else may just give him advice, I'll let him go, you would use this form, neka ide. The second one we have is neka pita kad ne zna. Neka pita kad ne zna. Let him or let her ask when he or she doesn't know. The same, neka, and then you're just having pitati is infinitive of the verb which we use here, which is pita. So neka, third person singular, pitati or pita, kadnezna. And you can keep going on with your sentence. It doesn't matter as long as you have neka plus third person singular. And the third example here we have is neka uđe. Neka uđe. Let him or let her come in. So this is also very much used in Bosnia. You could even be at the doctor's office or somewhere and you're trying to go in and the doctor's like, there's another person here, I'll let them come in. And so they would use neka uđe. Negation in imperative is very simple, if you ask me. To form a negative imperative, you're just going to be using this ne in front of your singular form in imperative. You can also actually use it in a plural form, but usually we use it in a singular. So if your positive form is pitati or pitai, ask, the negative you would just add ne in front of it. So ne pitai, ne pitai. It's like don't even ask, don't ask. Positive for parkirati is parkirai, parkirai, park. You have permission to park. Negative, ne parkirai, ne parkirai. Don't park, like, or you don't have permission to park here. Another thing which we can also use is Nimoy, like don't. Nimoy plus da plus a second person singular in present tense, or you can also say Nimoy plus infinitive to make it even other way, or yes. So you can say Nimoy plus infinitive would be Nimoy pitati, Nimoy pitati, don't ask. Or you can say Nemoj da pitaš, nemoj da pitaš, don't ask. But obviously, if you're using the plural form or you're giving this permission or to someone or an order to a group of people, you can say nemojte pitati or nemojte da pitate, nemojte da pitate. Something I wanted to share with you also here is when we have Nimoy, but if it's preceded by ma, that ma usually have this kind of funny, ironic kind of connotation in Bosnian language. So it could be ma nemoj, like, oh, are you kidding me? Or like, oh, are you joking? So when you have ma nemoj, that's what that means. Another thing that we can also say with ma is madai, like, oh, come on, like, I don't believe you, like, are you serious? That's what that means, madai. For homework, I decided to actually give you homework today, guys. I wanted to see if you guys learned, if this is a little bit too much, but please write your comments below. How would you say these things in Bosnian or in imperative mood, which we learned today? Go to bed. Verb spavati. Let's talk. Verb razgovarati. Don't think about it. Verb misliti. That will be all for today. Thank you for learning how to speak Bosnian with us. For more awesome videos, don't forget to like us. comment, and subscribe. And until next time, ciao!